Hello everyone, I'm Joseph and today I'll show you how to beat the Black Sails mission on the Beast difficulty in Party Animals. This is considered one of the most difficult challenges in the game, so I would like to share my strategy on how to beat the mission and unlock the Pirate Pro skin as well as the Pirate Pro's avatar. Here is how the mission is structured. It has 3 stages and each stage has 2 or 3 objectives you'll need to complete before you move on to the next one. In general, each stage begins with fighting pirates and ends with the ship separating and using the cannon. Now let's talk about how to beat Black Sails. First, when selecting a character, don't choose anyone from Bruce's crew, such as Coco, Bruce, Hammer, Tusker, and Dodo. For some this may seem unnecessary, but I still think it's important to do this so you and your teammate can easily identify each other during fights. Next, fight near the edge of the ship. This sounds like a risky strategy, but it is the most effective way to eliminate pirates. Fighting near the edge lets you throw pirates off before they wake up, or if you're lucky, you can punch them off the ship without having to throw them. Lastly, when using the cannon, aim the upper tip of the cannon just below the center of the ship and fire at it. Doing this not only deals more damage to Bruce's ship, but it also eliminates the pirates who are using the cannons, and it prevents them from damaging your ship. That's all I can say about my strategy, so now I'll show you how you can use it to beat Black Sails on the Beast difficulty. The mission begins with you and your teammate locked in cages on a ship that's being sailed by Harry the Duck. Soon after, Bruce and his crew appears and they immediately start firing at your ship. After a few shots, you and your teammate will be freed from your cages and Bruce's ship will slam next to your ship, which is where the first stage begins.
Get ready for the next battle!
Normally pirates dropkick when they board, but the first 2 Tuskers in this stage simply jump onto the edge of the ship. While they're climbing, you can eliminate them with a well-timed heavy punch. Headbutts and light punches can also eliminate them, however this method doesn't work all the time. Once you see the Tuskers jump, expect them to grab the edge of the ship and use a heavy punch to eliminate them. After you eliminate the 2 Tuskers, a cutscene will play showing Dodo lighting a cannon. The cannon fires bombs, so grab one and throw it back at Dodo to eliminate him. From this point on, every pirate will dropkick when they board the ship. A good method of eliminating pirates is to position yourself next to the sail and perform a heavy punch right after you see them dropkick. If timed correctly, you can knock pirates out and throw them off the ship without having to fight them. During this fight, I get knocked out and my teammate quickly pulls me away from the edge, which allows me to wake up. Then my teammate gets knocked out and I distract the pirates to prevent them from picking up and throwing my teammate off the ship. This is why it's important to stay coordinated with your teammate at all times so neither of you gets eliminated. Losing hearts this early can make it more difficult to complete the mission, especially in the 3rd stage. At this point, Bruce's ship separates from your ship and this is when the cannon becomes available. Once you eliminate every pirate, you or your teammate can safely use the cannon. Fire where the cannons are because, like I said previously, shooting at the cannons deals more damage to Bruce's ship, it eliminates the pirates who are using the cannons, and it prevents them from damaging your ship. After firing a couple of shots, Bruce's ship will slam back and this is where the 2nd stage begins.
Get ready for the next battle!
In this stage, the pirates start using weapons. 2 Tuskers will board the ship, one with a baseball bat and one without. Always prioritize eliminating pirates without weapons because they can pick you up and throw you off the ship, whereas those with weapons cannot. That's why I knock out and eliminate the unarmed Tusker first, and then I heal my teammate eliminate the Tusker with a baseball bat. Once we eliminated him, my teammate picks up his baseball bat to help me fight 2 more Tuskers. Weapons can be useful, but they should only be used by one person, while the other person fights without weapons and eliminates pirates. Be careful not to get in your teammate's way, or you could get accidentally knocked out. After you eliminate the 4 Tuskers, a 2nd Dodo will appear to fire bombs. Just like the first Dodo, pick up the bomb and throw it back at him to eliminate him. There are only 2 more Tuskers to fight and they are both using baseball bats. Make sure to eliminate them as fast as possible because after Bruce's ship separates, you have to fight the giant squid. When the squid shows up, stay away from the edges of the ship so you don't get hit by its tentacles. Harry will toss 2 crossbows for you and your teammate to shoot at the squid's tentacles. If your teammate is shooting the squid on one side of the ship, shoot it on the other side to get the squid off the ship faster. Once the squid leaves, get on the cannon and start firing at Bruce's ship. Same as before, fire at the cannons to deal more damage, eliminate the pirates and prevent them from damaging your ship. Bruce's ship will slam back and this is where the 3rd stage begins.
Get ready for the next battle!
The third stage is by far the most difficult stage in the entire mission. Not only does it have the highest number of pilots, 16 to be exact, but they are armed with baseball bats, crossbows and lollipops. It's easy to get overwhelmed in this stage because of how many pilots you have to fight, but as long as you and your teammate remain focused and not take unnecessary risks, you shouldn't have too many problems. A dodo will start firing his crossbow as he tries to board the ship. Stay out of his line of sight to avoid getting knocked out by the arrows. I tried to knock out Dodo, but instead I knocked out the Tusker. I was so close to getting knocked out, so after I threw the Tusker off the ship, I quickly moved out of the way and my teammate was lucky enough to eliminate both the Dodo and the Tusker. After that, a Coco with a baseball bat boards the ship. I position myself next to the sail, knock him out, and throw him off the ship. I try to do the same thing to this Tusker climbing the edge, but just as I'm about to eliminate him, I get knocked out by another Tusker with a crossbow. Thankfully, my teammate knocks out both pilots and I don't get thrown off the ship. While we're fighting, a third Dodo will appear to fire bombs, however you don't need to eliminate him immediately. Bombs don't deal a lot of damage to your ship, so you can throw a bomb at Dodo whenever you want to eliminate him. Soon after, a hammer with a lollipop boards the ship. The lollipop is the best weapon in the mission because it can knock out multiple pilots with a single hit. When hammer boards the ship, knock him out so he drops the lollipop and your teammate can pick it up. Given how many pilots there are in this stage, you not only need to be careful about which pilot you have to knock out and throw off the ship, but you also need to be quick when doing it because the same thing can happen to you. As I mentioned earlier, don't take unnecessary risks, stay coordinated with your teammate and eliminate the pilots one by one. After you eliminate Hammer, two Cocos will board the ship, one with a crossbow and one with a lollipop. My teammate successfully knocks out both Cocos with the lollipop and this allows me to throw one of them off the ship. There are only 3 more pilots left to fight before the ships separate. Hammer, Coco, and lastly, Pilot Bruce.
Get ready for the next battle.
Bruce is the most dangerous pilot in the entire mission because not only is he armed with nunchucks, but he's also very resistant to being knocked out by them. It's important to knock Bruce out in order to disarm him and make him easier to deal with. There's no need to worry about using the cannon because your ship should have enough health to endure multiple shots while you fight Bruce and his crew. Bruce knocks out my teammate and I tried to stop him but I accidentally grabbed Coco instead. Luckily my teammate wakes up just in time, manages to knock Bruce out and eliminates him. This Coco is the only remaining pilot. I use a heavy punch and a dropkick but I miss both of my attacks. As a last resort I use a headbutt and I knock him out which allows me to throw him off the ship. With all the pilots eliminated, my teammate uses the cannon and starts firing at Bruce's ship. Even after all of that fighting, our ship still has plenty of health. Eventually, Bruce's ship explodes and sinks, successfully completing the mission. You can see why this is considered one of the most difficult challenges in Party Animals. If my strategy helped you beat Black Cells on the Beast difficulty, then I would like to say congratulations for unlocking Pilot Bruce. I would also appreciate it if you share this video with your friends who are struggling to beat the mission. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a good day.